Hi, and welcome to another episode of our Ask the Expert series. I'm here with Tyler Hansen from Melcor today, as we're going to be talking about both commercial and residential developments in and around Red Deer and Central Alberta. So, Tyler, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
What are some of the biggest developments coming to Red Deer in 2018, both residentially and commercially, that we're going to see?
Yeah, we've got, there hasn't been a lot of new residential development. We've had most of the development that happened occurred in terms of new land coming on in 2015. And then we've kind of been working through that through 2016, 2017. 2018, Evergreen will be a new residential community that'll be being launched by Melcor. And then in terms of commercial development, Evergreen's up in that northeast area where all that commercial development's anchoring, and Clearview Market Square, where the new roundabout has been constructed there, where the road used to curve around on 67th and 30th. There's 10 acres there that Clearview Market Square will continue to expand into, so that area will get that much bigger and have that much more commercial services available to help drive the growth in that northeast area.
I know, just talking to people around Red Deer, they're thrilled with that market already. Have you guys locked in any businesses that'll be moving there, or just starting, I guess, the planning phase?
Yeah, we're kind of still in the design phase of that expansion. There are leasing conversations going on with tenants with our commercial group. So I think there are a number of tenants who are interested. We're looking for some bigger anchors to go in there. And that'll take a little bit of time, but through 2018 we'll do a little bit of site work. We may or may not see a building go in there later in the year, but for the most part this year will be more of a planning and design year. And then in the future you'll continue to see that area expand with buildings popping out and tenants coming on. So there will be, beyond Clearview Market Square, there will be more commercial in the future, but in the short term, the next few years, that 10 acres in Clearview Market Square and what's left to develop in timberlands across the road will be what you see for commercial development up in that area.
Talking about just styles of businesses, is it going to be kind of a consistent theme with new, fresher businesses that aren't currently in Red Deer, like newer brands that we haven't seen?
Yeah, I think we'll see some new brands, some new banners that you haven't seen in Red Deer before. New franchises, and hopefully we want to have some good, strong local businesses in there as well.
With Red Deer continuing to grow east, can we expect to see any new commercial developments on that side of the city down the road?
In Laredo, in the southeast right now, there is a commercial site there. That's the very last phase of Laredo. As far as residential in Laredo goes, all the development has occurred. So what you see there is your last opportunity to build a new home in southeast Red Deer. And the commercial site, we would expect to see something like that develop over the next, sometime in the next few years. But again, that's, with the market, we'll have to kind of wait and see how things are going to go. We expect to see a grocery anchored commercial site in that location. So that's at the end of 22nd Street at the very east end in Laredo.
As you mentioned, the Melcor community of Evergreen, that new neighborhood, kind of what's that community going to look like?
So Evergreen's going to be a really unique new community in Red Deer. We in Central Alberta, we're kind of used to these new communities being quite similar. Like the topography in Red Deer for the most part is fairly flat, and we haven't had a ton of natural features to plan things around. Evergreen will be a lot different. We have this really nice natural feature that runs through the entire middle of the development. There's about 30 acres there of a natural area. Some of it's a wooded, treed area, and then a ravine at the north end with a ton of trees there. So we've designed the community around that feature, and that area will be preserved. A large portion of it will be dedicated as environmental reserve, and the remainder of it will be, a portion of it will be constructed as a managed wetland for stormwater. And then everything around that feature has been inspired by that natural feature. So for the most part, all the roadways in Evergreen will be tree lined with separate sidewalk and boulevards. That's not a standard thing that's done in residential communities. That's usually typically only on the collector, the main roads in a development. So that's something where we brought that kind of natural feel into the rest of the community, and that'll tie into the architecture that you'll see as well. So in Evergreen, the architecture will be, again, the natural inspiration is what we're going after. So we want to see lots of naturally inspired wood elements and stone on the homes. We're not pushing a particular architectural theme or style like you see in some developments. We want to leave some room for the customer and the consumers to have to put their character into the home and the designs, and let the builders put some of that into there as well. So that's what Evergreen's gonna look like. And then even beyond Evergreen, that corner of the city with the access to the Riverbend Recreation Center and Discovery Canyon, Mackenzie Trails, there's a ton of natural amenity around there. So we're pretty excited about that community coming on, and we've had a ton of interest so far. So we're excited for that to launch here in 2018.
Initial feedback, what have you kind of heard from people? Is this going to be kind of more of a sought after, unique type neighborhood?
Yeah, we think it's going to be very attractive to a lot of people who are looking to build a new home. Every community in Red Deer will still has all the price points in it. So there will be some very high-end portions of Evergreen. But there's, in Evergreen, there's the homes the focus is really on the streetscape. There's going to be some very attractive looking homes, but that doesn't mean they have to be out of the price range for everybody. So, there's going to be townhomes in there that's starting at $270,000, and single family homes, starting around that $400,000 area. And then we'll have later in the development, in some really high-end nodes, we'll have some very high-end homes as well. So there's a lot for more than for everybody, and we're pretty excited to deliver some of the new architecture and the new products that will be in Evergreen.
Can you also talk about just how much it helps those two new schools that were built up in that neighborhood? That's obviously that's a nice thing for families who are moving in.
Yeah, again, that corner of the city has a ton going for it. We've talked about all the natural amenities around there and the commercial amenity as far as convenience goes. But again, it's got the school. So it's got the St. Joseph, the new high school, the new Catholic high school. And on that site, there will be future high schools there as well. There's no money committed to that, and that's a little ways down the road, but there will be a public high school and potentially a Francophone high school there as well on that same site. There's two existing elementary schools, Father Henry Voice in the Catholic School, which is in Clearview Ridge, which is only a couple kilometers away from Evergreen, and then Barry Wilson in the public school system that has the elementary school there as well. And that one also has a dual track program. They've got English and French there, so there's lots of options for people in that area. And there will be a future public middle school, hopefully in the shorter term. It's at the top of the public school board's list in terms of new capital. So they would like to have a middle school in that area as well.